together in this room.
I know, as if she doesn't know that we hate each other.
I know we're roommates and all, but seriously, we spend enough time together as it is.
What's going on, guys? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, hey, Anthony.
Just talking about Larson's class again.
Oh, can you believe it? I was living with you guys and I had to be in a group with you. I don't see you guys enough already as it is.
You're lucky to look at our beautiful faces.
I don't know about that. Well, I'm just coming back from the doctor right now. He diagnosed me with early signs of arthritis in my knee.
No, that's awful.
How is that possible? You're so young.
Well, while I was driving over here, I was also on my phone, which many Americans do, so don't judge me. And some lady cut me off, by the way, which I'm pretty sure was her fault. She used her blinker. I've read on the CDC website that 1 in 5 people ages 18 and over actually are diagnosed with arthritis. And I need advice on should I take prescription drugs or should I take some type of alternative medicine?
Well, lucky for you, everyone here has taken either both prescription drugs or prescription or alternative medicine.
Yeah, in fact, I happen to know a whole lot about prescription drugs from all of those pharmaceutical classes I took before I became a figure skater. Prescription drugs are safe and proven to work. According to an article I read on EBSCO called "The FDA Announces New Prescription Drug Information Format," that even after they've been tested and proven to be safe for use by humans, they have a website and phone numbers you can call in order to report any new symptoms that weren't listed there before, so that they can make sure people are well informed about the symptoms and are safer because of it.
Some good information to know in case something happens.
It is. Also, according to a booklet I read called "Your Guide to Medicare Prescription Drug Coverage," a booklet made by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Well, those people were never allowed to do people.
Of course not. Some plans can cover up to 52% of the cost of prescription medication, making some medications cheaper and more financially viable.
That's awesome since I don't have a job and I can't afford the expensive stuff.
Yes. Such as a drug called Enbrel, which is a prescription drug that targets one of the root causes of arthritis by targeting a protein called TNF and blocking it so that it stops the inflammation that it causes when it builds up in your joints. By doing so, it reduces swelling, prevents further damage to your joints, and it helps improve your joints and lower pain. Yes.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. And if you want to look up more information on it, you can go to their website at www.enbrel.com.
I had to check that website out.
Okay, Tom, you're making prescription drugs seem as if they're a gift sent from God. You're forgetting to inform Anthony on all the negative sides of prescription medicine. And that drug that you're talking about, Enbrel, which happens to be the one that Anthony wants to take, is also the same drug that my grandmother used. So I'm plenty aware of the side effects that that drug contains. According to an article by the Enbrel website accessed on November 24th, some of the many side effects include upper respiratory infections, headaches, infections of other types, hepatitis B, nervous system problems, blood problems, heart failure. And among other things, it can even cause injection site reactions, seeing as the drug is actually injected in you weekly.
Jeez, I don't want to die.
Exactly. Also, Harvard Medical School wrote an article that I accessed on November 24th, stating that the drug is extremely expensive, and although some people may have insurance, not everyone does. And it also can have long-term side effects of numbness, tingling, and weakness in your bones. And among other things, tuberculosis and fungal lung infections are actually pretty common.
You're right, Josie. There are some negative side effects to prescription pills or medicine, but that's not Anthony's only option. Alternative medicine is also another option for him and his arthritis. For example, smoking marijuana is commonly used to reduce stress and is used as a pain reliever. which is why it's gaining more popularity around the world and in the U.S. But for arthritis in particular, Better Nutrition for Today's Living Access November of this year states that Boswellia serrata, which is a tree bark found in the hills of India, can be made into a cream and is known to have anti-inflammatory properties, which is why it's so effective against arthritis. It also contains capsaicin, which is found in peppers, and that's what we use on a day-to-day basis for cooking.
That's interesting. Never do something on my refrigerator could probably help.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about any other chemicals. It's all made with familiar organic stuff. And if you think that cream is too much work or a hassle to put on, but you can get it in pills as well. Some may even say that it's hard to get a reach of all this stuff, but you can find it at almost any local health store. The Journal of Clinical Nursing, due November of this year, also states that 70% of patients that use alternative medicines such as the Boswellia serrata cream over traditional prescription pills and medication had better improvement of their arthritis over the other patients that use traditional prescription pills.
Wow. I know alternatives also have some kind of negative effects on your life. Maybe not as bad as pharmaceuticals may. But I know that a lot of states nowadays are having medicinal marijuana for a lot of symptoms, diseases, and injuries people do incur during their lifetime. But there's also zero tolerances in a lot of companies that are within these states. I read an article in Denver Post about a guy that got fired from Dish Network for using marijuana off-duty. He failed a drug test, so Dish Network fired him for their zero tolerance policy. But he took it to court saying that he lives in the state of Colorado, which allows medicinal marijuana. So all the courts went against him before the company, saying they were allowed to fire him. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court of Colorado said that private sector businesses can have a zero tolerance. They do not have to follow what state law says, since it's an industry that's all over the country. This is from the article, Colorado Supreme Court, employers can fire for off-duty pot use. Another article I read on drugpolicy.org from a PhD professor, Amanda Reiheim, which she has a PhD, so she will never give you false information.
You're right.
She said that there are 4 ways people could test for marijuana or THC usage, because a lot of people in California use topical creams that contain THC for arthritis and joint pain. She said that they use urinalysis test, hair follicle, blood, and saliva. The most likely will use a urinalysis because it's cheaper, and the companies don't want to pay for the more expensive usage or testing. And in the P test, it stays in your body for up to 4 weeks. It's stored in your fat cells in your urine. I also know that massaging and acupuncture don't always work either. Because I've gotten those done before for muscle spasms. And I know that's an alternative medicine a lot of people like to do for pain management also. So they really don't work in the end, I don't think.
Let us lay down the facts. We know that the FDA-tested drugs are safe to use. Insurance can help pay for all the costs of drugs, and drugs help to treat the root causes of the diseases they're taken for.
But we also know that prescription medicine has a lot of side effects to it, and taking them doesn't always benefit you. It can cause anything from infections to more severe stuff like hepatitis or heart failure.
Don't forget that prescription medicine isn't the only way to heal a problem. Smoking marijuana or other herbal remedies also help.
These are all interesting facts you guys gave me. You guys have very credible sources, which I could probably go back and look up eventually. Because obviously nobody there is going to lie, especially on the internet. It's always truth down there. But in the end, I think I'm just going to stick with what I've always stuck with while in California. I'm going to stay herbal and go to Mr. Green Thumb.
I think my bones are hurting too. Do you have any more of that stuff?
I got some extra in the back room. Want to go?